Today I'm going to be making a beat, but this is not just going to be any ordinary beat. This beat is going to be made entirely out of sounds from the GameCube intro. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, let's go ahead and drag in our sound. Just put it down there for now. And I'm just going to have a listen through it to see where I can pull my sounds from. So I can definitely use this sound here for drums. Maybe we'll cut this one out as well. I'm sure I can use this sound somewhere. So the last thing I'm trying to find is just something that will work as a nice bass sound. Actually, I might just be able to use this pitch down a bit. I'll just do a little test. Yeah, I think that might work. So I think I have all of my sounds. Let's go ahead and start putting the beat together. So I think I'm just going to start things off by putting a few different effects onto this sound here. And I'm just going to make it sound a bit more like your usual drums. So let's start off with a kick. So what we want to do is we just want to cut it a bit shorter. That is sounding pretty nice. So now I'm just going to pitch it down a bit. Hey, that actually sounds surprisingly nice. So now I'm just going to bring in an equalizer and I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that is sounding good. So I think my kick is pretty much done. Let's move on to making a snare. So I'm just going to use the exact same sound that I used for the kick, and I'm pretty much going to do the exact same thing, except for this one I'm going to make the note a little bit longer, and instead of pitching it down, I'm going to pitch it up. Maybe a little bit of saturation wouldn't hurt. I also might need to EQ this as well because there is a lot of high frequencies that I don't really want. That is already sounding better. That should do for now. That is sounding alright. If I need to make any changes, I will make those later on. Actually, quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sound here and I'm just going to layer it underneath my snare. And this will just help give it a little bit more room. Nice, that is not sounding too bad. So now I just need to make my last drum, which is just going to be a hi-hat. And I'm just going to use this little clip here, which I put behind the snare, and I should be able to turn this into a hi-hat pretty easily. I think that's going to be alright for the hi-hat, so I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to move on to making some instruments. So, to get started, we're going to take this sound here, and I'm just going to bring it into a simpler. Oh, that is actually sounding pretty perfect, so I think the only thing that I need to do right now is I'm just going to put on a little bit of equalization. Maybe a bit of reverb wouldn't hurt as well. That is actually sounding alright for now. Let's move on to the next instrument. So this is just going to be a bass sound, and I'm actually going to use the exact same sound that I just used for the last instrument. But for this one, I'm just going to pitch it down a couple of octaves. And I'm going to take the last little bit from that sound. So I'm not going to have the hit, I'm just going to have this tail part. And there we go, we have our bass sound. So I just need to EQ out some of those extra harmonies, which I do not want in there. Right there, we do not want that in there. Drop that down. That actually sounds really good, so I just need to change the voices to 1 so I don't get any overlapping notes. And I think that is done. So far, this is turning out to be a lot easier than I was expecting. The sounds are just working so well so far. So now that I have my basic instruments, I'm going to start making my beat, just to get a rough idea of what I am working with, and then I can come back and make some more instruments later on if I need some. So for this, I'm going to need keyboard. Let's start making a beat. So I might start off by recording this sound here. Let's go ahead and try recording some chords. That is way faster than I was expecting. Better turn that down. Nice. That was surprisingly easy. So now I think I'm just going to jump straight in and I'm going to try recording the bass line. Let's hope it was as easy as those chords were. Oh yeah, that actually worked. So now I think it's time to add in my drum beat. So I'm just going to bring all of my samples over and now I can start drawing in a beat. What kind of beat are we feeling like today? I'm quite liking that little rhythm there. Now I think I just need to add in some extra sound. So first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little drum roll here. And I'm just going to put it in before my snare. Oh yeah, that works pretty well. The next change that I'm going to make is I think I'm going to turn this little closed hi-hat into a shaker. So I just need to make a little bit of a fade in, and we should be good to go. And there we go, I think I have my finished drums. So let's just duplicate the drum beat over a couple of times, and let's see how it sounds. Hey! Oh, that actually sounds really nice. I'm pretty blown away. I really was not expecting it to sound this good. I'm quite surprised. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this plucked sound and I'm going to attempt to turn it into a pad. I'm not too sure how that's going to sound, but we'll give it a shot. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to warp it. and we'll just make it a lot longer. So now I'm just going to take this reverb and I'm just going to crank it all the way up. That is sounding pretty nice. So next up I'm going to duplicate this sound again, and I'm going to turn it into a really distorted lead sound. Hopefully. I hope it works. So to do this, I'm just going to turn the voices to 1. We are going to put on a whole lot of glide. And now I'm just going to turn on loop. Find something that sounds good. That sounds pretty nice. I actually like the sound of that. It sounds a little bit out of tune. It's got a little bit of artifacting here and there, but I think it works. So now let's bring in the magic. Let's bring in a saturator, turn it all the way up, turn the volume down because I'm going to blow my ears. Might also put an overdrive in there as well because distortion. Whoa! I actually think that sounds really cool. Oh, I'm actually really liking how that sounds. I think we're going to save it as a preset. I have a feeling that I'll end up using it later on in some other songs. So I think that is sounding good enough. Let's go ahead and record a melody. Bring the keyboard back. Let's record.
Testing. Fire system testing. Please disregard all warning tones. Thank you.
Way to ruin my recording. Come on! You done? Okay, let's get back to recording. Okay, so we got there in the end. The fire alarm test kind of ruined it for me, but I ended up recording something that I'm somewhat happy with. I think that's going to do for now. Okay, anyway, I think that is the last instrument that I'm going to record. I think I have everything that I need. So as usual, I've gone ahead and I've added on all the finishing touches off camera, and yeah, here is the finished beat, which was made entirely out of sounds from the GameCube intro. Enjoy! So there we go, that is the finished beat. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making it. Make sure to go ahead and let me know what you thought of this beat down in the comments. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. I will see all of you in the next couple of days for my next upload. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!